Are we starting?
Aren't we?
Is this happening?
Thought so.
What are we doing?
All right, guys, here we are again for another episode of We Talking About, and today we're talking about Episode 5, Season 1 of Crazy Head.
Crazy in a coconut.
It's getting there. We have one episode left in this season, and we're definitely rounding out.
Yeah.
I liked that for a brief second. I thought my original predictions were correct.
Let's jump right into that, because, like, he's like, I knew your dad and all that stuff. And in my head, I was like, I'm going to have to listen to Steph and be like, I said he knew his dad. But we've already had one or two episodes of this talk where we already said, I guess he didn't know his dad. I guess it's this or something.
Yeah.
And it's all, well, that doesn't make sense because he's doing this. So it must be this now. We've already shifted through all these things.
Yeah.
But the episode then shifts through all these things in the same way that we shifted to, like explain everything. That was
it was
fucking
definitely weird. His character, like I couldn't allow that to even be the explanation anymore because I'm like, because of how weird he's been.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't even say, oh, he was in the bushes just watching him. Oh, he's making sure she's okay. Because he looks like a fucking creep. And then he clearly like signals dude before he goes into the bathroom.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, you could maybe try to spin that as like he noticed him getting up. He went after him. But, like, that would have been such a hard sell for me, so I'm very glad that he indeed is a demon.
It was a fucking roller coaster, though. Because I was like, oh, like, the demons have something over on him, and he's working with them. But then he does like her, so at the last minute, he's got to fucking make the guy... because my man was making him eat shit. Ooh! And all that stuff. I was like, oh, my God.
But even when he took that bullet, I was like, this doesn't prove anything. Because he's not supposed to shoot this girl. So, like, what are you doing?
No, I know.
And that guy should have been killed, like, immediately. Like,
were you still, suspicious the whole way through, or did you oscillate with, like, the whole...
I was always
playing
suspicious.
With you. I was always suspicious on some level, but I was, like, definitely... it was a roller coaster that I enjoyed a lot as they were unveiling the different things or whatever.
The layers here,
the fucking layers, mate.
I thought, what is the friend's name? The kid with the canoe?
Jake.
Jake, I thought he had some gold this episode.
Oh, my God.
Was that Beyonce?
Oh, those fucking lines.
Oh, it makes sense. She's more local.
Makes sense because she's not because Beyonce makes no sense in the first place.
Yeah.
Because Raquel's local. Oh, so good.
What was so dumb about that is why would they have her face on there? Why would they poorly Photoshop her face on that body?
On that thing?
Yeah.
It's part of the party.
But
she's the guest of honor.
But think about why? That's like, oh, yeah, we printed invitations to the murder. Like, what?
Well, she's not on the invitations. That's up on the
but
thing,
like once she walked in, let's say she got there and wasn't on guard. Bam, immediately on guard. Why have any possibility? What if like just the graphic artist knows her? Like,
because
it's just such a leap for something that you're trying to like end the world, which would be save your world, like bring hell back to Earth. Why leave anything up to chance? Why have any ability to someone draw fire coming out of her asshole? Like why?
Because well, number one, because of jokes.
I was gonna say it's only for the jokes.
But number two, because
CPs, y'all, comedy purposes.
Don't say it's for CP. Everything we do is CP. Don't because this is a world where demons are people and just as flawed and goofy and like I'm trying to make this into a big thing and you keep minimizing it. Not while I'm fucking talking and all that shit. I'm like, oh, this is great. And when he's giving the speech and the guy starts inflating some shit from the party and he has to go over and fucking stomp that guy and then go back to stomping the first guy. Oh my God.
But clearly, just for comedy purposes, why would they even have that trust building exercise? Like,
no, it made no sense at all.
Just for comedy purposes.
I don't know, but like. It was for comedy purposes, but it was the kind of like that's been going on the whole time, where they're showing people doing stuff that's goofy and dumb.
I'm okay with that with humans. I understand that demons are essentially just humans.
That's why I'm making the point. Is that
but I hate that because they've been. He says he's been around for hundreds of years,
and still
he
just
should be
as
smarter.
No, he's just as flawed and normal as a person.
Don't give me your psychology bullshit.
But I like that about this show, where they're just
it infuriates me
because they are just so goofy and dumb and like people,
Don't kill her, kill me. She's the whole reason we're here. We're here to kill her.
Did you love that?
Oh, so hypothetically, you could let me go. We could.
Yeah, we could.
We won't.
But I'm not gonna do that.
All right, had to try.
And her whole thing, yes, tell me. And then he's like, fuck, we got some time. So that's the whole plan. Like this like acknowledgement of like, hey, fuck, well, we made good time coming over here. Might as well tell you the whole plan. Just those winks and nods and dumb things or whatever. I like it. It's like charming to me.
No, the show is good, and like that type of thing. Like the giving of a plan is retarded, but they
and like don't and like by the way, numbnuts, don't take the canoe off your car. It's very conspicuous. Yeah. Where I'm like, because like the first time the canoe was unnecessary and like he still had it, I laughed out loud. But since then, it just became this normal thing. And his explanation was like, well, my mom says I can't keep it in the garage anymore. That or the drum set, like I can't choose or something like that. I'm like, oh my god. That's so dumb.
Never let
it
be said that a canoe is not practical or whatever he says when he uses it.
Because they then carry Harry, I'm like, oh, you bastards, it's so good. Because that's like it's so dumb to begin with, and then it's dumb, and then they pay it off in like a dumb way. But then at the end, he has to be like, well, see, it was practical. Yeah. I'm like, no, it wasn't. You're an idiot with a canoe on your car. Oh, so good. I don't know. I dig it.
I like that. I do like that he's such a good character. Not meaning like he's written well, but he's he's so good, like good natured.
Oh, okay.
Because you can see how deeply he cares about this girl, even though he knows there's no turn back. She doesn't care about him in that same way at all, and he's like willing to die for her. He does everything for her, and I'm like, God damn, this guy's a nice guy. Give him a girl in the next season. Come on.
I will.
I thought his reaction to her brother was hilarious.
Did you? Who does he think? Who do you think I am? A waiter? And he's like,
oh, the nerve of this guy!
This motherfucker. Yeah,
I thought that was very good. Like, because this is the comedy I like. We're constantly saying how comedies aren't funny, but the TV show comedies are funny. Why do they have some sort of a power? Because they're not spending $100 million like in an episode. Like, it's just really funny when you have to work around things and you really have to think and have a team of good writers. How funny things can be, and then you look at other things and you're like, what advantages did you have that they didn't have? Like, why is your movie shit?
Yeah, and I always thought we've done some trailer stuff recently where this has come up, and I think I just saw a thing about Ghostbusters 2 from Max Landis, who is great and I love.
Max Landis was the writer of Bright, by the way.
Was he? Yes. I heard about that too. But so he was talking about Ghostbusters 2, and which I haven't seen, so I can't even be fair about it. And I'm going to wrap this up in at least 30 seconds, or at most 30 seconds. I'm already past the limit. He said, like, well, the original Ghostbusters was like a sci-fi, like, thriller-type movie that was light and had comedy, like, in it.
Yes.
Like, as a new movie, you start with the word comedy is the biggest word, and then you figure out, well, I guess it'll have ghosts or some shit, or it'll have this or whatever, but comedy's at the top. Whereas in, like, other things that were funny, it was a real movie, and then they put other things, like, into it. Even, like, something that's, like, Gremlins 2, right, is just crazy bonkers off the wall, funny and weird, dumb things happen, but it's a movie.
Yeah.
And there's conversations and real things that happen, and the characters feel real. Bryan Singer's X-Men, I remember talking to someone about and being like, yeah, when he like has like the middle finger claw, and then he's like, what do they call you, wheels or whatever? And then like someone I knew who like loved comic books but hadn't seen it was like, wait, is this like a comedy? And I'm like, no, it's not a comedy. It's like a drama, action, sci-fi. It's like everything. It's like a real movie. And he was like, oh, okay, good, or something. And then I started walking around with that in my head for a while, where it was like movies used to just have like everything.
Yes.
And you could lean different
Good
ways and then call it
everything.
something, right? Like those old John Candy or like Jim Belushi or like those comedies that people used to make, where it was also like a real movie, and there would be like conversations, and you would see characters changing and developing and all that shit. Yes, and that's what this is, where there's real things happening and people are being goofy and real the way people really are when they're goofy
and British. That's
Britishness
the secret
helps a
to
lot.
make everything funny.
You get a lot of points for being British, honestly.
Yeah.
So real quick, it starts off, car pulling up like it was before, yelling about, he's the guy, I saw him lunge at you, and blah, blah. And as we talked about, I think, last time, like, what they showed us from what she saw, where she concluded that he was attacking her, I was like, I don't know if that would have made me think that. That's very weird.
Well, you got to think she's on edge because of what's happened. So anyone doing anything, like, and especially she didn't know him at the time.
Yeah,
that's a murderer. He's attacking you.
No, and they make and this episode makes a lot of like, cause like it is a misconception, and they want to make sure you know that. And the episode goes to great lengths to make sure that because like he even says, well, you just lost Suzanne, so whatever. And then later she even says, I'm not going to lose you the way I lost Suzanne. I want to protect you. And I'm like, okay, because that's why she did jump to that conclusion. On their date, though, he talks about how hard it is to be hunting demons and hiding it from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And he even mentions that he told us, I told her I was trampled by a donkey, and it was like a horrible lie.
Yeah.
And that
calling out the bad lie trend.
That warmed my heart so much, where it's like he, like that's just a part of how it goes, where you blurt out these horrible lies because you're trying to hide the stupid part of your life.
Well, especially in their world. Think about how many stupid lies you've heard in your life that are just like mean nothing. Like, did you eat the last peanut butter? No. But these people have things that are unexcusable.
Yes.
You're covered in blood. You just killed a man. Oh, is it allergies?
Allergies, yeah.
What?
Oh. No,
Yeah,
it's came early this time of year. Sorry.
So it makes sense to be bullshit lies, and I do love the bullshit lies.
Totes. Callum and the single mom demon drop a little more exposition on us.
Yeah. I didn't hate having you here.
Oh,
that's the nicest thing you've said to me.
I didn't even write that down. Yeah, her comment of like, that's the nicest thing you've said to me. But it, like making a face like, I can't believe that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Like, you're a bastard.
And he says something like, you're welcome, or something bullshit.
Yeah, something like, oh, yeah. Something.
You deserve it, champ. Keep it up.
But he mentions like the legions of it's gonna look really stupid if the legions of hell don't have anyone to possess.
Yes.
And they're like, okay, because we had batted that around of like, do we just need like gallons of blood, like fresh bleeding, like sacrifices, like what's gonna happen?
They're jumping into the meat suits.
Now we get a bunch of people together, we do the ritual, hellmouth opens, everyone fucking gets possessed, and that's their plan. And they talk about it later, where it's like, and then they're gonna go home and slaughter all their loved ones. It's gonna be great.
Well, they will.
Like, oh, wonderful. I don't know why they have to slaughter their loved ones. That isn't how the demons are doing it right now.
For fun.
For totes.
Well, I think they're declaring war on humanity. So if like 1,000 people come in and each one of them is killing people, but when they die can jump into another body, they're kind of unstoppable. How they can't win with an army of 10 is actually unfathomable. It's
kind of weird. I know. And he says like, we're gonna be out of the closet. We're gonna be full frontal, whatever the fuck, or all that stuff. So he's made all these comments, and it's like very clear what they've laid out. But like you're saying, I'm still not exactly sure 100% what their end game is. Is here. Do they want to kill all the people and just have 1,000 people? How many demons are there? What are the rules? Do they need a body? Does that body still age and die?
Numbers should only enhance how quickly you can do this. It shouldn't stop you from doing this. If they wanted to take over the world, they should be able to do it with any amount of people, considering they don't need a host vessel. Like, it is bam, oh, I died, bam, taking over, bam, taking oh, keep going, keep going.
You think all the bodies do age and die, though, right? Because, like, Raquel's dad died, yeah, so that
the bodies
that
die,
sense.
But if they don't die on that, like, ruin with a stabbing of ice through the heart, they're not dead.
Whatever.
They just come to the next body.
Yeah.
So I feel like they could easily do anything.
Like, one of them should already be the president. It should already be, like, they should just have had hundreds of years to, like, set everything up and do it,
yeah,
right?
you would think.
The royal family. That's probably why they can't do it there, royal family. Oh. I like the little thing, are you sure your dad's not gay, which was funny.
Well, he was.
That was more of, like, Jake's, he was talking about, like, the hockey players.
Yeah.
When he just starts going off and saying a thing.
That'll be a thing I think you're going to see in next season. You're going to find out that his dad is indeed gay.
Okay.
I think so.
You don't think this was just, like, a little sprinkling, like a little drop?
No, I think it'll be something to call back.
Okay.
Predictions.
Callum has a therapy session with Rachel.
Yeah.
So you actually see them together now. You see them interacting. He is, in fact, her therapist directly. They talk. He pumps her for the information, and she can't see him because he's hidden so deep. He's so good at this, or whatever.
It's very strange. I'm wondering exactly what's going to happen when the Hellgates release. Because is he just a lackey? Is he just the highest level one that's on Earth right now?
Right.
What is going to happen with that demographic? Because he's definitely like the head boss at the moment.
Oh yeah.
And when things come through, are they going to all look the same? Is this just this type of demon, Bernie face, whatever? Were they just like was able to escape? Are there going to be other types of demons that we see? Is anyone going to have any more powers? We've established that no one on his team has any powers except the one girl who can suck your life force.
Right.
So that's strange too, because presumably, all the demons on Earth would want the demons to get out. So, like, he should have a wider, base of an army. He has, like, 7 people.
And, like, he's in charge. And, like, how did they get out? But, like, he's in charge. Is he in charge because he's the strongest? Is there, like, a royal, like hierarchy? Like,
I would presume he's the strongest.
I feel like he's probably the strongest. Or, like, the best able to hide it or something like that. And, yeah, is he just taking orders from, like, a real bad guy? And why are they not out?
I have to imagine that Season 2 is something intense.
Yeah, I feel like this is probably like a byproduct of the short, because this is 6 episodes, but it doesn't feel like 6 episodes the way like a show like Luther or Sherlock has their 6 episodes.
Yeah,
this feels like a pilot season where they're like, here's the premise, here's the setup, here's the pieces, wrap it up.
Potentially
okay,
12
move on to the
episodes
next
next
thing.
season.
Like a longer season where they can actually, because they've already set up the possibility that each human could have different powers and each demon could have different powers. So
yeah,
that's definitely what they want to do. I think someday. I hope that's the whole point of this whole
would be
thing.
cool if it was like the X-Men of demons. We're like, because like those are vastly different powers between telekinesis, and she displayed some weird like, whereas like a mixture of telekinesis and pyrokinesis.
Yeah.
Because she may have burst gas mains, but we're like, she had to spark them too.
Right.
Like,
all this cool shit. And she's still just like screaming and freaking out. She could like control it more.
Yeah.
Because she seems stronger than Sawyer in the like the range even or whatever. She has a very wide fire hose of telekinesis. Yeah. Jake humping Amy in the back of the car.
Yeah, that was. I thought that was a little much. Because you knew like.
Yeah.
And she just took it. So, like, you made this joke like she doesn't know what's happening, but she never went like, what the hell? Like, because he was talking with the tape in his mouth and you understood everything he said. So, like, he could have easily been like, I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. Or she could be like, what are you doing?
Sure, she was making eyes like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But that was it. It kind of went on like a little too long, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. It went on too long.
But I did like it. It did make me go, because, like, when he takes the tape off and he's like, oh, and doing all that shit, I was like, oh, because, like, it was the kind of funny thing that became funny to me again because of how long it was.
Okay, and that's the thing.
That's per each person or whatever. Just wanted to call it out and highlight it. Jake says, kill me.
The Family Guy knee hit where it lasted a little too long. That was how I felt that went on.
Well, that got funny again because it lasted so long.
Hmm.
There's a second I wrote down second round of the How Could You game. Because this is kind of tropey like we talk about. Because Raquel gets all pissed off at Harry multiple times. Because they find out that he didn't tell her something or whatever the fuck. And you're kind of like,
you knew my dad? You were sent to help me? Blah, blah, blah. Is that what you did when you were fucking me? You bitch.
And he's like, no. And then it's like, okay. Like, it's this whole fucking thing. I don't know. That always rubs me the wrong way, and I kind of like breeze through it, and then like so does the show, it seems. Yeah. And then it's okay again, or something like that. So I didn't take those moments too. Well,
after
seriously.
a bullet, it's all back to neutral.
All right, because he proved himself,
Yeah, but again, I think that's funny because even you'd think Amy would have been like, "It's not proving yourself. You said right yourself. Nobody can kill me. They need me." But they let it slide. I guess, in the heat of the moment, someone takes a bullet for you, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, and they think he's a human. Well, they even talk about it, so we're like about to get to the end and like the payoff and all that stuff. But they set up earlier where like Raquel is like, you can't keep thinking everyone's possessed because you're just gonna be paranoid and like a mess. Because Amy's pointing out very rightfully so, like, well, couldn't he be possessed? And because you said some of them can hide it better than others, so maybe this is that thing. And it's like, don't be an idiot. And then like turns out. That's exactly the thing. Yeah. That's exactly the thing.
No,
I can't believe she was able to, even to have sex with him and still not know.
I love that thing at the end where he's like, what do you say? Like, look away when you're having your O face or something like that. You don't want her to see you.
No. Yeah, it's like, just make sure you don't show yourself when he says the word ejaculate. When you ejaculate, use your regular
like a
O
Scottish
face or something.
Ejaculate.
Just like top. That whole conversation was great because like I'm still on the roller coaster, so like. They cut. He's in the hospital bed. Callum's there. I'm
and
like,
you think,
oh shit.
He's just a doctor.
Or, well, so like, could be there, as a doctor, but I know who he really is. So maybe he's there to like fucking kill him, like pull a hose or do some weird shit. Then they start talking, and it's like, okay, so maybe he is just just the psychiatrist came in to say like, I just want to see if you need any help and pump you for information. And then like the dialogue gets a little weird, and he mentions that other demon's name.
Yeah.
And then he goes, Farron's an idiot or whatever, like he's playing too close to the whatever. And I'm like, and then they show you his Bernie face, and he's really a demon. But the dialogue was great between the two of them.
His Bernie face came out in a weird moment though, where I was like, oh, that's what he was angry about. Like he was angry that the guy almost shot her. And I'm like, that could even be a thing of like, is he developing feelings for her? Could this be a secondary twist? Is he going to be like, the secret agent, agent?
I just assumed that was true. Yes, I think that's the whole thing. I think that he really is. Because, like, and they even said, like, he said you made him eat shit. And he's like, you said make it convincing or whatever the fuck. And it's like, okay. But, like, you could have just knocked his head against the wall.
You could have.
Right? So like, he was totally, like, I think he might actually be developing feelings for her.
Let's hope, because it was a little weird. Their whole like thing in the bed I thought was shot weird. Because she seems like she's much younger than he is.
Really?
I don't know if that's true, but I got a weird vibe where I was like, he's like a man.
Black don't crack, yeah.
I like. Well, she's didn't they say how old she was? I thought
know.
she was just out of high school.
Oh God,
I thought so. I could be wrong. But
that is weird.
And to how cavalierly they say, do you work? I don't work. I just blah blah blah. Like. That's a young thing. Like you're not like 35. Like, do you work? Yeah, you work. What do you mean, do I work? you say, where do you work? Not do you work.
Right. So you think that they're writing it like they're young, but he doesn't look
like
young. Yeah. Word.
I don't know how old she's supposed to be. I don't think they ever say, but I'm sure at some point they'll get a birthday.
I loved her reaction that they're like, oh, no, no. Like that's out of the question or something. And I was like, oh, it kind of is, though, because you're a half demon doing your thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd written it down, so I'm calling it out of when he goes, did the two of you? Oh, you dog. And he does the pumping. I was like, oh, shit. I love charming villains with accents. That's my thing, apparently.
Accents in general make everything better.
That's my totes thing that I'm all about.
Sure.
Anything else about this? We have one more episode to go.
Yeah, one more episode to the finale. They are heading to the beach to just evade, because presumably if they can make it past the 31st, there must be some stars aligning as to why this has to happen.
A certain ritualistic.
Anyway. So as long as she doesn't get taken there, she's okay.
So I was a little distracted doing something or whatever, and I remember when they said we're like, well, we're going to the beach though. I was like, wait, is the beach for the thing? Is that what?
Yeah, they grabbed suits. They're ready to go.
But I totally missed the part of why they're going there. They're going there so that they're not going to be at the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense, I suppose. I guess that's not going to work out though, and they're going to end up at the thing anyway.
I pictured something was going to happen while they were packing that was going to make it not work. Did you catch that she packs a dildo, a big purple one?
What? No.
Yeah. She goes like dusts it off and puts it into her bag.
Oh, from like her chest when she was looking for batteries the one time and had like sex toys and weird stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, because now she needs it. Raquel, I assume, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, has Amy ever been back to her apartment?
No, she doesn't live there anymore. I was wondering about payment-wise, like, is it on direct deposit? Is she doing there? Like, I worry about little stupid things, just because I'm like, she barely goes to work anymore. She's going to lose the apartment.
I actually figured, because they show, like, a double date in this one where she's there and she's behind the counter. Are you allowed to do that? I'll work here. I almost thought, like, that was, going to like trigger you more. It's like, when are you working? What are you doing? How's this happening?
Oh, I thought you were going to say you thought a manager was going to come by like, you were fired. You haven't come in days.
Well, that would have even been better. Or like even Jake should start making some comments. But I think they mean to imply to the audience that she's still been working like the whole time, just in between the shots that we see or something like that.
I like to be explicitly told if that's the truth.
And we do totally feel like, because there should be a lot of stuff interacting with her and Jake at work.
Sure.
More so. Every time we see them interact, it seems like they haven't spoken since the last time we saw them. Not that it's a thing.
Most definitely.
I don't know. It's not a deal breaker, but you mentioned it, and it is weird.
It's just bothersome. I don't like when things are simple.
You can't just randomly quit your job like that and still hang out with someone else that still works there.
No, you could easily explain this away with like took my vacation time, blah blah blah, went on a medical leave, like anything like 2 words can really solve a lot of issues for me, and a lot of people just don't do that, and it's just I feel it's lazy.
I was thinking that too because she just had that traumatic experience, so I figured she could have said like I need to take some time off.
And the UK it probably has like good health care for universal citizenship. They can just be like, oh, you have this, just take a month off, blah blah blah, and I'm like, all right,
yeah.
Meh.
That'd even be better, too. She could be like, I have to wrap this up. I have to go back to work.
Yeah. But this was a pretty decent episode overall. It definitely makes me want to see what happens in the last episode, our season finale.
I want to dig into that finale. I'm very interested in what the fuck they do and how this all plays out. Do you think we're going to see some weird scene like in the at the end of Blade where a bunch of like things are flying around? Ghost things, demon
Probably.
things
happening. I think at some point you're going to see the gate open, and then the gate's going to get like sealed shut for some either they're going to like kick like our head Irish demon like into the or Scottish whatever into the pit, and it's going to like close it or something's going to happen. But you're definitely going to see a peek into hell.
Is he not going to be in the next season? You think? Do you think they have to like defeat him now or something like that?
It could be the mother could be the boss for the next season.
Oh, I like him though.
Could be anything. I like him a lot as well, but I wonder if he can survive because he seems like too good of a bad guy to not either succeed or die in one season.
He would not just because then what are you gonna do next season?
He's not like Rita Repulsa. Like he either does it or doesn't. I'm assuming.
He's very hands on. It's not like he's just gonna be like, I'll find better minions next time or something like that. Okay, I do think Harry's gonna like save the day or like turn back.
I would say that's
him.
a safe assessment.
He'll probably be instrumental to how this whole thing plays out. I just want to know how to get back from the beach to the ritual in time.
We're gonna find out next week, guys. So until then, don't die in a fire.